What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 85 of Lyon Live here in Football Manager 2019. Today, we are going to be wrapping up season number 4 here. Yes, is it season 4? It is season 4. We've been here a while, haven't we? But yeah, we're back, and it's going to be a good time, I hope. We're going to have to see how we get on. We've got a cup final to play, as well as the last 2 league games of the season. Unfortunately, the league title is now beyond us. However, we are still very much competing with PSG for second, and I want to push them for it as much as we can. And, well, as I said, the cup final on the horizon today is going to be against Lille in the French Cup in about 3 weeks' time. So let's get continuing forward, shall we? My mouse, for some reason, I have spacebar bound on my mouse, but it appears to not be working. So that's good. When I click on my mouse, it's not going forward like it normally would. Pro tip, and I recommend this for anyone. If you don't know, you can use spacebar to continue Football Manager forward. If you want to super optimize your play, do what I do. Put it on a... I'll show you. That's going to be the easiest thing to do, isn't it? You go to Preferences, Shortcuts, I want to say. We'll go with it. And then here, where you've got Continue set to space, you can add in a mouse button. Although, my mouse button doesn't normally work. So what I actually have to do is I have to change my mouse setup. My mouse kind of extra button to be spacebar to get around this. I don't know why it does that. Answers on a postcard if you've had that problem and know the solution. But yeah, definitely recommend that if you're looking to optimize how you play Football Manager, I guess. But anyway, we'll try and get through this without me repeatedly mashing the button that no longer works. I'll have to have my left hand on standby on the spacebar. But yeah, wrapping up the season today, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to chase the likes of Monaco, who have now gone on to win the league. But I'm already thinking ahead to the summer, as we talked about previously. Last episode, which was a little while ago now, because I have been away. First day kind of back and feeling ready to record. And we're back. We're doing our thing. We've got players being recommended to us left, right and central. Courtois apparently 100% recommendation. Yeah. Signing whatever the price, I don't have £125 million. Although this guy looks interesting. Joel Knapp, he's Brazilian, 18 years old. Not got the best adaptability and can only play in the middle. But he's got ambitious personality and really, really good mentals. My only concern really is his aerial ability isn't the craziest. But depending on how much they want, he might be an interesting option. He has a release clause of £9 million, which I don't really want to pay that much for. If I could get him for a couple of million, I'd probably go for it. That 11 jumping reach is kind of a put-off. I don't mind a centre-back who can't jump if they're athletic and they're fast. But at the same time, I do mind if they can't jump and they can't run. Don't get me wrong, though. His mentals did look very, very good. But I feel like we're at a point here with players like David Diaz joining us back. You know, the standard has somewhat escalated in terms of what I'm looking for from a player. You can see here David Diaz compared to Joel. There's about 1 year difference in them, and I feel like David Diaz is way better than Joel is going to be, no matter how much he improves in whatever is left of the next year to kind of catch up to be the same age as our kind of already existing option. Unfortunately, Guerrieri's really not had a great loan. We loaned him to the Championship to play for Reading. He starts at least on the original kind of summer update for the game that came out when Football Manager first launched with kind of a long-term injury. I'm not sure if he still has that in the January update, but as a result, it really hindered his development. And if he's not setting the world alight at Reading and he's playing in the Reading under-23s, it's not the best luck in terms of, you know, potentially for us. You can see here, David Diaz playing another 90 minutes for Juventus. He's played a lot of football this year, really, for a player who's 19 years old who we loaned out. Signed for £300,000 from Santa Fe. Santa Fe, do you have any more players for us? Any more? No, they don't. What about Colombia's national team? I assume that David Diaz is here. He is. There's Edison Nino, who plays for Napoli. He's on loan from Atletico Nacional. Interesting. So he's on loan at Napoli. He looks very good. How much do you want? Why is he on loan at Napoli? That's a weird... They must have an option to buy. I'm gonna try and steal him. £900,000. Now, he is that example of a quick centre-back who isn't the best in the air. But actually, it's more his heading than anything else. But you can see here, he's very, very well-rounded. I wonder how he'd do as a ball-winning midfielder. See, that could be a really interesting option for him. He looks very good. If we could sign him, I think he'd be value in the market. In the words of one Dr. Benji. How much am I going to have to pay him a week? That is the concern. We don't know his estimated wage demands. I'm going to give him 5,000 smackaroonies and see what he says. Okay, he's happy with 5,000 smackaroonies, by the way, official currency of Football Manager. Right, 5-year deal. I mean, that was the nicest negotiating I remember this season at Lyon. We've had a few hard-pressed situations. Obviously, Aouar's new contract still currently pending. He just wanted the deal done, and I'll give him the deal. We'll get it done. Could be the first signing of the summer. Speaking of the devil, here is Aouar. £100,000 a week he is going to be on. He's happy to renew his contract due to his long-term passion that he's held for the club. I like you, Aouar. Right, so that's good news there. Our current wage budget is £2.25 million with a committed wage spend of £1.925 million. I would like to get that down to nearer 1.8, just because over the course of my time here at Lyon, the wages have slowly but surely crept up. Obviously, we've been improving as a side, having to pay players more money to keep hold of them. But a side effect of that has been is that we've really struggled to just maintain a positive cash flow. We've a lot of the time had to be relying on the players that we are selling in order, to keep us afloat, which isn't really where I want to be. Sure, we're a selling club here at Lyon, but if the difference between our bank balance being red or black at the end of a year is the players that I sell, it's not the most sustainable of options. So what I'd much rather do is cut the wage budget if we can and take things from there. So Edison Nino is going to join us. How's he been doing at Napoli? 7 appearances, 7.12 average rate, and I'm okay with that. Professional personality as well, and he's left-footed. I love it. I think he is a very, very good little addition to the team. He's not the craziest in the air. He could maybe play as the ball-playing defender on cover. What was his ball-playing ability like? It wasn't too bad, I don't think. I think it was just his flair that was bad. 7 passing could be a little bit better. It's not too bad. He's 19 years old. He's really, really well-rounded, this guy. I realised I didn't scout him because I got really excited, but £900,000, it's not a massive amount of money to be risking. Anyway, let's make some changes here. I'm going to start Trincao, I think, at left midfield. Obviously, we talked about the fact that left midfield is the position to address for the summer. I'd love to get in a really world-class left mid. One thing that completely escaped my mind, and whilst I was away I was thinking about, is the fact that Anada's playing against us today, by the way, up front for them. Trincao is actually homegrown at club, so every reason to keep hold of him now. He's been at the club a number of years, which is absolutely fantastic. And as a result, he is an important part of our team. We don't exactly have a shortage of homegrown players at club, but nevertheless, it's kind of worth having. Anyway, Kingsley Coman's picked up a really, really early injury here. Given his few injury concerns lately, I'm going to take him off and bring in Auger, I think. Would like to have Coman fit for the final that we've got coming up in 2 weeks' time. It's a chance for Auger to play, not exactly in his best position out on the right-hand side of midfield, but we'll see how he gets on there. You can see they have got Anada playing up top for them. Our own player, we'll see how he gets on. Have they got Kone on the bench? They haven't. I wonder if he's injured at the moment. I can only assume he is. But Anada, if we just look at him, he's very, very good. Very, very good. I think I would like to loan him to Sochaux next year, if they want him next year. He's had a really good loan spell there, and if they stay up in the league, which I think they're gonna do at this point, let's have a look at the league table, shall we? I've not played in a little while, so it's a bit of catching up. Yeah, they're 4 points clear right now, so you'd expect them to be safe. We'll see if that's actually how it plays out. Keane, can you finish that? Of course he can. 14th of the season, and Auger with the assist. That is what I want to see. Auger is not a right winger. He can't cross the ball, but he has good passing and vision, and he wins the ball here. And he puts in a superb ball to Keane, who takes it down, beats his man, uses his strength, and just tucks it away. My word, I am so excited for Moise Kean, Gabels and Aouar next year. That is a front three. I don't know. I want to claim it's somehow comparable to Mane, Salah, and Bobby Firmino at Liverpool. It's our equivalent. It's our attacking trio who we're going to rely on, I think, a lot next year. Anyway, they've had a player sent off here. It's not looking good for Sochaux. They're down a man. We could score a second here before half-time. I would like to see us get it while they're down a man. Ball out wide to Auger here, who can't cross the ball, but he can here, and well, he's picked out Moise Kean. I take it all back. He's the best right midfielder the world has ever seen. Moise Kean, 15th goal of the year for number 15. He's on for a hat-trick. Good to see him get some goals. You know, we've had the goals flowing ever since we changed our tactical system. It's been great to see. Aouar's obviously been getting a hell of a lot of assists. Moise Kean and Gabels playing up top together. It's just fireworks. Fireworks is the best way to describe what we've seen from them. And Gabels has, I think, slightly edged out the goal scoring. Keane's been chipping in with a very decent total, however. But it's still nice just to see him get a few more goals here to maybe catch up with Gabels just a teeny tiny bit. Anyway, I haven't seen PSG in the top left. I think I might have actually seen them score one goal, but we'll keep an eye out in the top corner. In fact, let's just have a look at the latest score, shall we? They are winning 1-0 via Mbappe right now. Aouar still hunting those assists to be the record assist maker in, I think it might be Ligue 1 history, or at least our club's history. He has been nutty with his assists, especially since we've changed his role. He's been averaging like an assist almost every game. It's been kind of nuts. Anyway, a few bookings, and then Trincao instantly gets injured as I'm about to make a sub. We'll take him off. Malcolm, you're going to have to come on. One last sub that we have. Lenglet, let's make sure you don't get suspended. Markovic is going to come in for him at centre-back. I do wonder if, if Wallace was to get an offer in on him, maybe I could promote Markovic to play the centre-back position. I think Wallace is a little better in the air and a little bit better defensively. But Markovic has a hell of a lot of potential. And at 22 years old, he is more than ready for regular first-team football. Anyway, Ndombele's been hacked down there. Don't react, son. You're on a yellow card. The ref's played advantage. Wallace has heard the murmurings that I'm uttering. The fact he might be replaced. So he wants to kickstart an attack here. And well, it almost fell to Gabels. And in fact, a penalty's been given. We're going to VAR about it. And it's not going to be... Wow! Sorry, hold the phone. We had a VAR penalty overturned. The penalty was not given. That never happens. I mean, what do I do now? It's unprecedented territory. The referee consulted VAR, who told him it wasn't a penalty. I'm in a state of shock. I am in a state of shock. I did not... Well, I didn't know that was a thing. I did know it was possible, but still, it never happens. Eden Militao, oh my word. Oh my word. Unfortunately, I've just seen that PSG have scored another to go 2-0 up in their game. But a 3-0 result here. Eden Militao, not a bad little free kick from a ridiculously wide angle. Had no right to score from there. And he did score from there. It doesn't matter if he has rights or not. He doesn't care. Dijon have scored one. Dijon, score another for us. Do us a favour. PSG, only 2-1 up. It's not exactly convincing, is it? Is there time for a fourth? We want to believe so. Auger looking for the hat-trick of assists. Oh my, what are you doing? It's fallen to Gabels. Keane for the hat-trick. He's got it. Gabels has been given the assist. That seems generous. I don't know if Auger was trying to shoot or cross it. I mean, he has like 9 crossings, so maybe it was an attempted cross that he completely miscued. Hits it here. It curls so much. Prevost deals with it horrifically. Gabels could have shot from an impossible angle. Unselfishly gave it to his partner in crime, and Keane picks up his hat-trick. And he has got it, and I feel good about it. That is exactly what we wanted to see here. I thought for a second Sochaux were about to have another sending off, but the referee has shown them some mercy. And ultimately, in the end here, it is going to finish 4-0. That is more good results with the new tactical system. It really has worked wonders. I did not expect it to work as well as it has. It's in a very unorthodox system, but it's a system that we picked on the basis that we felt like it would suit the players that we have. Anyway, Kingsley Coman's picked up a pulled hamstring. He might be back for the final. Trincao, torn hamstring 2 months. That is not a good injury. Don't worry about it. You've got the entire of the off season to not worry about it anymore. Obviously, we've also got Keita here, who we could bring in to play left midfielder next year. He has been absolutely top draw. He's fallen a little bit off form lately, but he's still been doing okay for Auxerre. Obviously, we've got a few other players who have been out on loan, players like Mario Ferreira. Probably a player I need to look to move on and sell, really. He's a good player. Did we pick him up on a free? 300k. I'd say that's a pretty good signing. He's proven himself to be good at this level, but I just don't know if I've got a spot for him in my team. I don't think I have. DJ got an assist but no goals. Again, another player who I would probably like to sell this summer. His wages aren't the hugest. They're not, as I said, the wage kind of being, I guess, cut down. The wage total is the main aim. But at the same time, there's lots of players who I've kind of signed over the last 4 years with the hope that they would be good enough for the first team. As it's transpired, they've not really been good enough for us. And as a result, it just feels right now that we maybe move some of those players on. Anyway, Trincao is unfortunately going to miss that final. It's going to be a chance for Malcolm to show us what he's made of and shine to end the year. You might have noticed me fumbling through some menus during this episode. I am still trying to press spacebar on my mouse. I'm still trying to make it work. I know it's not working right now. I need to solve it because it is going to annoy me. But I'll do it after the episode. Caro, another player. We signed him on a free transfer. He's played the entire year in the Prem. If we could sell him for £7 million, that would be money pretty well spent. St. Maximin as well. Has he gone down with Everton? I guess at this point Everton are relegated. It's not a great look, is it? They are officially down. I love the fact that we have a regen top goal scorer at Manchester United in Season 4 who's 19 years old and looks nutty. And then we have Beachy here who's a nut. I mean, these two guys, England's strike force in terms of regens for the next few years, I mean, they're laughing. They're both 19. They're like the two world's best strikers. If you were England manager, you should be winning the World Cup every single year. Basically, I mean, you can't do that because the World Cup's every 4 years. But every time a World Cup comes around, you probably should be winning it. I find it very interesting that Savic... I mean, how's he got 18 goals in the league? Where are they playing him? How is he getting so many... He's been playing box-to-box midfielder. Doesn't even look like he's played that many games lately. How has he scored so many goals? 18 goals he's got in the season from centre mid. Got 15 the year before that. What's he on? Is he taking... I guess he's taking penalties and free kicks. His free kick taking ain't that great. What's his penalty taking like? 40? Maybe he is on pens. Even so, that's weird stats. He must be pretty good, mustn't he? What's the average ratings looking like? I want to have a look. I want to have a poke around. Are there any other regions behind the two English guys up at the top? There isn't. I guess they're the pick of the bunch. Liverpool winning the title for a third year in a row, and they won it quite convincingly there. Anyway, enough worrying about the Premier League. We need to worry about Brests, because we've got a Brest on the horizon, and I'd like to win the last game of the year. It'd be quite nice. You can see Napoli have finished first, Milan second, Juve third. They're going to be disappointed with that. Pretty interesting year for the teams at the top of the table. Not loads of surprises really, but there's the odd team that you might be surprised to be doing as well as they are. Anyway, last game of the league season, then we have the cup final. And then, you guys know what's going to be coming up in the next few episodes. Oh my gosh, Freitas has got a hat-trick. This guy's going to be nuts. There's lots of reasons to be excited for next year here at Lyon. Freitas is another one of them. He's got a blooming hat-trick. You've been playing well for your loan club recently. And hopefully you're going to play well for us next year, because there's definitely a spot in the team for you. But yeah, what I was going to say is, for those of you who are fans of the off-season, rejoice. It's coming up soon, and it might be quite a long off-season in terms of the number of episodes we need. Like normally it's 2 or 3 episodes of around an hour, maybe slightly less long. This could be a long pre-season of planning out and thinking. Anyway, we've got players going on the French Youth International. there's some pretty good players in our ranks, isn't there? There's some good players. It would be fair to say I am very, very excited for the future here. I mean, it's a good time to be here at Lyon. I think the biggest shame for this series really is going to be that Football Manager 2020 isn't actually that far away. I know that sounds mad to be saying in July. What is it? 3 months away? July, August, September, October? Yeah, usually it comes out around the 20th of October. I am not saying that with any kind of concreteness. Football Manager traditionally, for those of you who maybe it's your first year of FM or maybe you can't remember, but Football Manager traditionally comes out around the start of November with a 2-week beta before that, where if you pre-order the game, you just get access to it 2 weeks earlier, but it is labelled as a beta because there will be bugs, and if you find the bugs, it's good to report them so they get fixed for the main game. But that's really not far away, is it? I say that 3 months is still plenty of time. We've been doing this series for I think 4 months, so we could still get plenty more seasons left in us. Moise Keane, I need to praise him less because I'm praising him too much. He's going to get complacent. And Ndombele, you've been doing well. You've been doing well. You've been doing exceptionally, actually. It's been very interesting this summer to see all the Lyon players moving around in real life and players who I'm quite familiar with. Obviously, Mendy, Ndombele, Fekir made the move to Betis this week as well. For slightly less than a 70-odd million we got from Real Madrid for him in our FM save. I feel like Betis have got a bargain at 20 million, really. I know he was in, I think it was the last year of his contract next year. I might be wrong. Anyway, we've picked up Nino, and now the scout report is a little questionable in terms of how good his potential might actually be. At the same time, we signed him for £1 million. He's definitely going to be worth at least 1 million, in my opinion. Anyway, final league games of the season today. Malcolm, you are going to come in. Shadash, you know what? You can play on the right. I might rotate the team a little bit for this game, you know. Do I have a best 11 set up? I think I do. Okay, I do. Good. I don't want to lose it because I'm about to rotate things a fair bit here, I think. Just for this last game of the year, it's a good chance, isn't it? Just to give lots of players who haven't played quite so much football this year just a little bit of an opportunity to play some ball. I am going to play Gnanon despite the fact he's not exactly been in the news for the best reasons, shall we say, over the last few weeks. Mendy, what am I going to do with Mendy? Am I training you to play left mid? I am. You know what? You're going to play left midfielder and show us how well you've been learning it. You've not learnt it at all yet, but that's okay. I feel like I'm way more optimistic today than usual. We'll put Petrenko in goal for Lopez. Is there any other rotation I want to do? We're already rotating the team a hell of a lot here, really. I'll tell you what, Oje coming for Ndombele. We've got lots of players playing outside of perhaps their normal preferred role. But that kind of is that's just what we're going to do today because we're playing just a fully rotated team pretty much. I think the only player who's not going to get rotated is Eder Militao. Purely because we don't have a centre mid to put in instead of him. Anyway, how far is Depay off fitness? 45 minutes they reckon he can play. We'll have him on the bench. We might give him some game time. I would like to really move on Depay this summer. He's been out with a broken leg. He's not set the world alight for us. I feel like since we've come in, in the last 4 years, he's never been a key player for us. I think there was a brief spell maybe where 10 to 15 games in a row, he looked like he was going to be this super reliable player for us. But nah, he's just not really been that. And for the amount of money that he's on, it's very difficult to justify the money that we're paying him, the value that he's valued at. Unfortunately, PSG are winning, so our hopes and dreams of getting second in the league are falling by the wayside. But hey, let's just try and win here with our rotated 11 and, see what comes of it. You might be able to tell by how heavily I've rotated my team. I've kind of given up on getting second. I don't see PSG slipping up. And with the cup final ahead, I need to just have an eye ahead to that, really. I'm worried about player fitness, particularly with Coman and Trincao having had their injuries. Brest, they're down in the table. They're a lower half team. I would like to think that we could beat them even with our rotated team, but there are players who aren't particularly match sharp, who are playing out of position. We'll have to see how it goes, but the players who are playing today, it's for many of them, I believe, their first time playing this new system. So we'll see how they shine in it, particularly players like Kanate and Markovic, players who, if I was to sell maybe Wallace on in the summer to help with the wage situation, and just because he is getting a little bit older and we have younger players ready to step up, if I was to move Wallace on, it's worth just seeing how these guys perform in this situation. I feel like a lot of our transfer business this summer will be dictated by the money that we get offered for players and the players themselves, which ones of them get offers on them and how they react to it. If players get super unhappy and I kind of think I can replace them, or we have a younger player who's ready to play the same position, I'd probably be willing just to move them on. At the same time, that's not to say that every player's untouchable. There's players like a front three, really. In truth, our Gabels, Moise Keane, I don't want to sell any of those players on. I don't think we'd be able to replace them. And, our, I think, is 23, Gabels is 22. It seems unnecessary. And to be fair, our leader, he's found some form lately, hasn't he? It's his 8th of the year he joined us. And at the start of the year, I thought was really hopefully he would be that super kind of backup striker, but a player who would probably mostly be playing left inside forward. With the changing system, he's found himself kind of occupying a new role as the impact sub-attacker. He's really found some good form lately. I know 5 goals in his last 20 doesn't look that impressive. 4 goals in his last 5 probably looks a little bit better. And to be honest, he is a very, very good forward. There is a reason he is capped for the French national team. And it's because he can score goals and not because he's bribed his way in. At least I think. Anyway, we've got a little bit of time here. I'm going to bring in Memphis. I'm going to bring him in for Malcolm just to try and build up some match fitness. Please don't now break your leg again. Do I want to make any other changes here? You know what? I'm going to take off Militao just for the sake of protecting him. He's the only player we didn't rotate in the team. We'll drop Gnanon into the covering kind of centre-back role and then play Toussaint as the ball-winning midfielder. I think that's going to be the best solution there. Anyway, Mendy falls away to Gnanon, who hasn't changed his position just yet. Now is Shadas out on the right, whips it in on his left foot, of course. Playing out on that right side. Not a bad winger, but doesn't have a right peg on him. Oh my god, Mendy, what are you doing? Almost a Di Canio-esque volley there for Mendy. The left back, who is learning to play left mid, albeit slowly, he almost scored a screamer. It's not been the most convincing of performances, but 1-0 with 5 minutes left. Can we hold on? I'd like to think so. The ball whipped in, though. We could be in trouble. Cornet, our former players, actually scored. That kind of hurts. It's DJ, our player, on loan at them as well with the assist. I mean, it's a blast from the past. I don't think this is going to matter too much. I thought there was a hint of offside here. Was there? No. It's hit the woodwork and hit him on the back of the head and gone in. I can't help but feel like that's a tiny bit unlucky. Anyway, time slipping away here. We're going to just settle for the draw. You might be able to tell, more concerned about the final at this point. I feel like that is where our attention has to lie. It does mean that to end season number 4, we are going to have to settle for 3rd place. Only 4 points behind PSG, though. I don't think we've had that bad a year, in truth. Aneda picked up a goal, as did Keita. Both of our players scoring in a 1-1 draw. Obviously, DJ got an assist in a 1-1 draw, but we're familiar with that result, even if it has upset me a little bit to think about it. How is the board confidence looking here? Let's have a look. Stable. Competitions they are very disappointed with. We just didn't really compete for the title, did we? In the Champions League, we were a little bit unfortunate, I think, to get drawn against Liverpool. In terms of tactics, they are really, really liking have we used a 4-3-3 wide? I guess they're talking about our other 4-3-3 that we've barely used in the last kind of few months. You can see here the fan transfer reaction. They are still not happy about Fekir going out and a few of our other players. How did Bertrand Traore get on this year at Young Boys? 9 goals, 6 assists. He didn't do too badly, but then you'd expect that from him. Maybe we could bring him back. Maybe he could play left. Maybe he could play left wing for us. Oh God, can you imagine? How come his wages are so low now? He was not on that little wages when he was at us. He was on way more. Maybe we could sign him for a cut fee. Who knows? Obviously, you can see the players they're not so happy with. In terms of the players they are happy with, they're happy with a lot of the players we got rid of and the players that we loaned out. And a few of the younger players we brought in, they've actually been very, very excited about. Players like Emil Ollison, for example, the young Dane. So I guess that's something. And also James Taylor. Honourable mention to James Taylor, I feel like, for him. Anyway, 3-5-2. How are we looking? Trincao is not going to be available, but Malcolm can come in. Coman should be back. Tolisso will not be, which leaves us a little light in the centre midfield department. Actually, I say that, it doesn't really. We have plenty of centre mid options. If anything, it just justifies bringing Depay onto the bench despite his lack of match fitness. But no, things are looking okay here. I am quietly optimistic. I'm just wondering if I want to check my staff. I don't remember renewing staff contracts. Have I done that? I'm going to check it because I'm paranoid. I'm sure we've all been there. It happens to the best of us. You forget about your staff contracts one year in FM and suddenly half your coaching staff is just leaving. And you have an unplanned rebuild ahead of you. Kind of hoping that doesn't happen to us, but we'll have to see. Right, staff. Oh, how are the contracts looking? Okay, we're fine. Although there's a lot of staff with contracts expiring next year. If I unselect, is my director of football here? If I get rid of my director of football, just negotiate, Gerard Houllier, just negotiate the contract renegotiations for me. As a biased Liverpool fan, I'm happy to give Gerard Houllier however much money he wants. He deserves it all. Anyway, French Cup final. This is a competition that we have reputation in. We have calibre in. I don't know. I'm looking for the right word. And Ndombele in a Liverpool shirt. I don't think so. Apparently, Monaco want Marco. Do you now? 120 million, please. He's got 4 years left on his current deal with an optional 3-year extension. I have no reason to sell him. Absolutely none. If you want anyone, you can take Wallace. Markovic is not available. He's not for sale at any price. Eder Militao is now happy to stay at the club as Man City are no longer interested in him. He only has 3 years left on his current contract. Will you sign a new contract with us? He wants to win the Champions League is a little ambitious. I can give you no promises whatsoever. Oh, I have to give him a lot of money, but at least he wants to stay for a long time at the club. I'm willing to give him 90. Come on, 90. Maybe 100 would be my limit, really. He's going to go to 90. I can feel it. There we go. So that's a huge actually deal if we can get that done. Eder Militao, I'm willing to give him £90,000 a week because he's 24 years old and he could just play that centre kind of back role, the ball playing defender role till the end of time. I feel like Langley very, very good as well. He's got 4 years left on his current contracts. We really have players tied in for a long time. Wallace is kind of the player I think I'd be willing to let go. You can see him compared to Markovic. He's better defensively and he's better in the air. But Markovic is a little bit quicker. A little bit better technically. Slightly has the edge in terms of passing and vision. And he is only 22. Wallace is wanted by the same teams that Markovic is wanted by. Which is interesting. Let's try offering him out for 80 million. And just see if anyone nibbles, you know? I'm willing to go fishing a little bit here and see what happens. Because we've got David Diaz coming back. We've got, obviously, Markovic. We've also got, and it's worth mentioning, we've got Kanate as well, who's a very, very good backup centre-back. Unfortunately, he doesn't look like he's going to have the potential to be that regular starter for us. But I feel like as a backup option, he is perfectly serviceable. Markovic obviously has a long-term contract at the club. Yeah, I feel like, I mean, we don't have to sell Wallace, but at the same time, if I was to get £80 million for him, I'm not going to say no. Even £60 million, I might find it difficult to say no. because the transfer window's not opened yet, I'm not really expecting to get players, teams interested just yet. But it's always worth just offering out early. You know, you want to get teams bidding on your players before they spend their budgets elsewhere. So I've just offered Gerard Houllier a new contract, and now he's decided he wants to retire at the end of the year. So I need a new DOF. I need a new director of football. I don't really use my director of football for a lot. Occasionally for like scout updates and stuff, I guess. And not scout updates. What am I talking about here? Send help. Loan updates. Loan updates is what I mean to say. You know, I'll send him to get the match reports. Who can we get as a director of football? Stuart Weber's a really interesting one because I really rate what he's done at Norwich in real life. So from a role-playing perspective and playing the game realistically, I feel like he is like kind of obviously. Where would he come? Would he come to France? I don't know, but he has a pretty good reputation. He did a great job at Huddersfield. I obviously saw them get promoted. He's seen Norwich get bounce back this year in real life. So let's see if Stuart Weber wants to join us. We'll ask him nicely. I hope Gerard Houllier, in his last kind of bit of action, renewing all the loans, is able to be successful. Oh, Mariam just hasn't developed in the save. Ever since he broke, was it a foot he broke or an ankle? Yeah, it was his ankle. He broke his ankle and it just killed his development, unfortunately. I feel like we have quite a good reputation in the French Cup. I'm now trying to remember. At least staff are signing new contracts, which is good. Let's just have a look. French Cup. I feel like I did this a few episodes ago, but I can't remember. Yeah, we won it last year, and we've not lost in it in regular time, I think, ever. I think we lost on penalties a couple of years ago. It's all coming back to me now. Anyway, lots of new contracts being signed by all the staff members. Gerard Houllier just accepted a new contract offer. Mate, you've just announced your retirement. What are you doing? Are you trying to make it more expensive for me to terminate your contract? I have to fire him for 2.8 million. You're going. Are you retiring or are you staying? You're retiring in a month. But you want me to... I mean, I literally can't sign Stuart Weber. If only there was a confirm upon Houllier retirement button. That would be useful. Maybe we can renegotiate that offer with him. Gabels might want a new... Willem. You've got a 4-year contract here, mate. How much are you wanting? If you ask for 100,000, I'm going to be upset. Okay, 78. That's more reasonable than I was expecting. Although I'd quite like to get that optional contract extension clause in if we can. How about this, buddy? You've just upped everything a lot, which is to be expected with what I've just locked in, but it still upsets me just a little bit. At the same time, if we could get him signing a 7-year contract, it would probably be in our interest. Right, that is going to have to go. I feel like he might kick off here, but we'll see. I'm going to offer him 85,000, which is more than what I'd like to give him. But I feel like I have to. And it still wasn't enough. Sack your agent, mate. Get rid of him. If there's one thing I've learned here at Lyon, it's that don't be afraid to screw up the negotiations. We've had it with, was it Ndombele? I feel like we've had it with Ndombele, with Langley. Players who come in and ask for like 120 million. That would be too much. 120,000. We've told them, get screwed. You've got plenty of time left on your current contract. And then they kind of just accept it and they're fine with it. And then a couple of months later, they ask for less. I mean, Gabels, he's got 4 years left on his current deal. I saw a YouTube comment actually a few episodes ago saying, how come you have players on such less money compared to me at Manchester United? Any player I try to sign, They want £120,000 no matter what squad status they are. That is the difference with Premier League money. If a player knows their team has money, they are going to ask for more money. And if you've already got players on a lot of money, they are going to look around the dressing room and go, well, how do I compare to these guys and what does that mean for my wage? It's one of the reasons why I'm quite keen here at Lyon not to go too overboard with the wage budget, start spending too much. Anyway, the good news is that we're pretty much at full strength today. The only issue really is Trincao at left mid, but Malcolm can come in, and Malcolm is a very, very good winger, to be fair to him. So we'll see what he can do for us. Team as a whole looks solid. Let's see how we get on. It's French Cup final time. We are taking on Lille. It's the final game of Season 4. Let's go out with a bang. I'm a little... They do have some good players, so I am a little bit scared. I've noticed they've still got Pepe out on the right wing. He terrifies me, even if we are on a the original database. I think he got a big upgrade in January. They've picked up a few bookings early on in the midfield. Xhaka and also Thiago, there's a name I've not seen in a while. He's not quite as good as he once was in Football Manager, but he's still very, very good, is Thiago Maia. We'll have to keep an eye on him. Anyway, let's see. What can we do here? Can we end the season with a win? It's the aim, but we could get tested a little bit with our free at the back system, given their kind of talent in the wide areas. Speaking of the Devils, it's whipped in from one wing to the other. I should have known. 3 minutes gone. He's scored, hasn't he? He's still pretty good in Football Manager terms. He has what I would describe as a scary polygon. When you look at his polygon on the right, it looks like the kind of player who's going to get goals in Football Manager. Doesn't need to be great in the air, just needs to be pacey, good with the ball at his feet, bit technical, not necessarily the most creative, but he can finish, he's got composure, great off the ball. And it doesn't matter if he can't jump, because no one was marking him at all. Anyway, they've got an early goal. We need to respond well here. Set piece, headed away, only as far as Langley. Can he keep the attack alive? It falls to Awar, cuts inside, crosses it in. Is that a foul? It was a great tackle apparently by Rudiger. Goes to Wallace. Now with Kingsley Coman. What can he do? To start. To Wallace. Patient play around the back. Coman down the right-hand side. Tries to get in the cross. Can't beat his man though. We could be in danger. And well, if it wasn't for Lopez, we would be in deep, deep danger. They have broken clear and had another shot against us. I'm already getting nervous about the free at the back system in this game. Seferovic, now with Nicolas Pepe, whips in the ball. Eder Militao, who's on the verge of signing that new contract, heads it clear like the defensive titan he is. Traore dispossessed, and while we get the ball back and we can breathe a sigh of relief. Militao, he scored one from a similar area to this. He hits this one just over the crossbar. I'm going to do a demand more shout. It might be a little bit early for it, 15 minutes in. But given the fact we've gone a goal down and we've not really looked at the races, I feel like it's necessary. That was a crunching tackle, I think, by Gabels there. I'm glad he timed it well, or otherwise that could have ended kind of badly. Ruben Vezo with the ball here. Goes to Rudiger. They've got a really good centre-back setup, actually. Rudiger and Vezo I really, really like. Those of you who have been watching the Leeds United streams on Twitch might remember Vezo. Pepe's won a penalty. He's won a penalty. Right. It hasn't worked. It's not working today. But we know that we have systems that can work. So we're going to go to one of those. I'm going to bring in Lucas Romero. No, I'm not. That's a lie. I don't have a left back on the bench. I don't have Mendy on the bench. Why did I not put Mendy on the bench? Do I have anyone who can play? Okay, Langley can kind of play left wing back. It's not ideal because he's already on a booking, but we're going to go to the 5-man midfield system. I have to change something here. It's not worked. We've been hit on the break twice. There could be a few more goals up. Going to go to this system, which I feel like he's quite good at being resilient against teams that like to hit on the break. And well, Awar, almost a moment of brilliance to get us straight back into it. Surged forward. The keeper tipped it round the post ultimately. Corner though, maybe we can still make something from it. Another set piece here. Awar to put it in. Back post. No one's there, but it's headed away. Okay, it's not headed away. That was handball. Okay, then. We've been offered a gift from the gods. Can we take it? Willem Gabels, please score. I need you to score more than ever. He sends the keeper the wrong way. That is the response we needed. It's the 22nd goal of the season for him. That kind of goal return, I'd say, is pretty acceptable for a striker. Particularly the way he has really stepped up the second half of this season. And it's a 2-1 game, and suddenly there's an air of hope in the air. I feel like maybe it's this system and the 3-5-2 that we just alternate between, depending on opposition and situations that emerge. When we are getting hit on the break, where we are getting overrun in the wide areas, I feel like this system works really, really well. That kind of free centre mids really do a great job of filling in the gaps in the defence and just offering a bit more defensive coverage. That's outside the penalty area. Please don't check VAR for it. We don't need to. Look how close that header was to going over the line. It's 2-1 here. A goal before half-time could be a really great sucker punch. Militao, what can you do? It's like he's heard me. Onto the roof of the netting only on this occasion. But since we've changed system, Lille yet to have a shot. We brought on Lucas Romero after 19 minutes, and it's looking like the right decision right now. I'm going to tell the players to show me something else. I am also, while we're here, going to tell our players on bookings not to dive into tackles, because I don't want to go down a man. I feel like most people don't want to go down a man in Football Manager, but particularly in a cup final, it would be good not. It would be good. It would be good not to get a man sent off. Expert analysis, that's what you're here for on the channel. Anyway, Ndombele here with it. Breaking forward. A goal immediately could be top notch. Surely not. Moist. I mean, that's the response we wanted. 20 seconds it has taken us. He has grabbed his 17th of the year. From one inside forward in Kingsley Coman out on the right to the other. And we're back in this game. As if we were ever out of it. Ndombele, nice little surging run forward. Sucks in so many attackers. And Moise Kean just left completely unmarked at the back post to tuck it away. And I feel the comeback, it feels inevitable now. But at the same time, there is a risk, that the momentum just stalls now. That the momentum that we've got going just kind of fizzles out. So with that in mind, I'm going to do a demand more shout. Few players on bookings for either team. I feel like there's a red card in this. I hope it's not for us. Of course, a goal would be preferred. As Awar has it. Trying to pull the string from deep. Coman dinked forward. And, well, there you go. There it is. I could taste it. It was lingering like a bad smell. And unfortunately, it's going to be Kone who is going to be shown a red card here. For Lille. They have taken off a striker. It's a bold decision, but with them now playing narrower, I'm going to do something that some people might massively disagree with. I am going to go back to what we were playing before. I'm going to take off Romero, who we brought on because he's on a booking. I'm going to play Shadas on the left wing, and I'm going to bring in Markovic Relengley, who's on a booking. This could backfire, but I genuinely believe that with them playing a narrower system now, they're going to be able to punish us less in the wide areas. And I really want to win the midfield battle now with, a few more players in the final third as well for them to have to worry about. Eden Militao, free kick. Oh my gosh, saved by the keeper to Keane. Can he finish it? He can't even get the shot away. Again, so close to going over the line from a set piece. The pressure is mounting. There is another highlight here. We have looked on top really ever since we changed systems the first time. Coman, lovely run, hits it. Oh my word. It's only his 11th goal of the year. It might well be his biggest. We have turned it around. A brave decision to change systems seemingly has worked wonders. Ndombele, what a ball that is out wide. Coman get afforded space and he just takes it and then sledgehammers it in at the near post. Maybe the keeper could have done a tiny bit better. Jadas has taken a knock. I'm not going to take him off. It's the last game of the year. Play through it, my friends. You've got 13 minutes to survive. So much space now being afforded to us now they're down a man. Gabels, can he get the winning header? He can't. It's just over the crossbar. 4 minutes and counting. Time just slipping away, but that is perfectly fine. What a comeback this could be. We still have to make sure we deal with this. I don't want to speak too soon. Markovic heads it clear. I can speak now. 2 goals down. We come back to win 3-2. Am I allowed to pat myself on the back? Is that allowed in this situation? I'm going to claim tactical genius. Making a sub after 19 minutes could have been viewed as a risk. It was a risk worth taking. We celebrate a double. Shanas is out with a twisted knee. It's only 4 to 5 days. He can survive. We enter the Hall of Fame as one of the best managers ever to work in France. Look at that. Take that, Gerard Houllier and Didier Deschamps. We're on our way. And we've done it at one team. There's actually not that many people ahead of us. I know that might sound weird. When you actually look at kind of the trophies won and stuff. It looks okay, doesn't it? It looks okay. I mean, we'll take that. That is a fantastic little win and a great way to end, I think, Season 4 and today's episode. Next season, we are going to kick off the pre-season. We'll have a little bit of a look back at the end of the season as well. How did we get on with our reserve team? They won the league, but because of the way the league works and the fact there's 8 reserve teams, the team in 9th get promoted. I hate that. I hate that so much. I know it's kind of an English thing to say. I hate reserve teams competing in the Football League. It just looks a bit rubbish. But yes, our reserves worked wonders. They win the league, and maybe that foreshadows us winning the league next year. I feel like I'm looking for any little sign right now. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, do drop a like on it. I'll see you again next time, where we'll be plotting out our pre-season action. And yeah, I hope to see you all for it, of course. It is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.